Good afternoon everybody, hope you're well. I'm at the car wash. I know, really lazy. But I did it myself a couple of weeks ago. Just didn't do a very good job at all. So I thought I'd leave it to the professionals, come and treat the van to a proper nice wash. The Polish lads down near the station, cracking job. So yeah, middle of the car wash, going well so far. So I'm going to get this car wash finished and then we're going to talk all about upgrades. So before we get into talking about upgrades, which is one of my favourite subjects, as you've probably noticed, I'm going to drop in, get a coffee. Again, I'm having a lazy day. I could have made a coffee in the van, couldn't I? Oh, I can't though. I've had a bit of a disaster. And I'll tell you all about that in a minute. Right, let's go and get a coffee. I've got my coffee. Latte, however you want to say it. There it is. We'll head back to the van and we'll talk about upgrades. However, just before that, so a bit of a mini disaster. So just getting ready to come out, putting my stuff in the back of the van. Was genuinely going to make a drink while we was out. Could have a brew together. Got a special biscuit. And goes in the back of the van and there's a beeping noise. And I've heard that beeping noise once before, so I instantly knew what it was. The div here has only gone and left the inverter switch on. And when the inverter switches on, it's draining the battery, because the inverter itself, even when it's not doing anything, not powering anything, it takes power itself. So eventually it runs the battery down. So the battery's 0% flat. What an idiot. So turned it off. It's a nice sunny day, as you can probably see. So hopefully the solar panels are charging. I might have to plug it in tonight and give it a proper charge overnight, which I've only ever done once before, the last time I did this. So yeah, there you go. These things you do. Right, back at this beautiful looking, shiny, gorgeous van. Always looks awesome after it's been washed. Doesn't last very long, obviously they get crapped up again. However, just for them few days when it looks nice, God, it's worth it. There you go. Anyway, let's get in this van, talk about upgrades. And to accompany the coffee this time, we've got the king of biscuits, a hobnob. Can't beat a hobnob. Maybe you can with the chocolate hobnob, but the standard ones are awesome. Oh yes, get in. Right, let's talk upgrades. You can see me all right. So because the power's really low in the van, I don't want to use any lights. So hopefully it's light enough and you can see me. All right. So upgrades. I made a bit of a list. I've got a very good memory. It's my age. Yeah, so I've made a list, a kind of a top 5 upgrades list. What I'm thinking, or what I've been thinking about doing with the van. And this is a long-term list. This is not jumping in. Oh, I need to do these things straight away. And as you know, hopefully it's coming across. I absolutely love this van. I adore it. And if this is the way it stayed forever, and this is the way I use it forever, then great. I'm happy with it, no problem. However, you can always make things better, can't you? So even if they're just little things. And one thing I don't think I've talked about is the van. When I first got it was a kind of weekend van. So I'd got a car. I'd got a Tesla, which was a company car. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. So I ran the Tesla, which is kind of my daily car, and then the van, you know, for weekends away and the odd trip out. And that really was the plan until the deal on the Tesla ran out, which has done in the last couple of months. So the car's gone, and I used the van when I was working down in Cambridge over Christmas and New Year, and I use it every day, and I absolutely love being in it, and I love driving it, and I realised that it could easily become my daily drive, no problem. So the idea was, let's get rid of the Tesla, let's go back to driving a dirty diesel van, and just using the van every day. And I thought I could do that quite easily. As a family, we've got another vehicle as well, so that's it. So for the last 6 weeks ish, I've used the van every day. Now obviously, using the van every day, I've picked out and noticed little things about it, as you do, using it more and more. So yeah, the list of upgrades that I've got are just from using it more, just from using the van more. And the first thing, probably the top of my priority list, is the ride in it. It's quite a bumpy ride. Now the van's got 20-inch really nice Volkswagen wheels, little Volkswagen logo in the middle. I kind of picked the wheels and the tyres as I had the van put together. I absolutely love them. At the time, never thought about the ride and how it would affect the ride, and from the research that I've done, I'm finding out that the bigger the wheels, the harsher the ride is, and the more the bumps you feel. So in this, you do feel, you get quite a thud when you go over a pothole, which you've got lots of. I'm sure you're all aware. So yeah, so it's not the comfiest over bumps. It's certainly comfy in the Tesla. That wasn't very comfy, but yeah. So that's something I'd like to do something about, and I'm wondering whether smaller wheels, maybe down to 17, 18-inch wheels, and bigger tyres. And I really love the actual the all-terrain type tyres that you can get, the off-road tyres. You see some of these pictures of these swamper vans, look amazing. I'll hopefully try and put some pictures of the type of thing I'm thinking about. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe an 18-inch wheel and some bigger tyres. Now I've written down here the tyres that I've got on this are 275 40ZR 20s. So they're the tyres. 275 I believe is the width. 40 is apparently the ratio of the wall of the tyre to the diameter, and I think 40 is quite low, like quite a low profile type tyre. The ZR is to do with speed rated for 150 mile an hour. Don't get anywhere near that in this, obviously. And 20 is the 20-inch, I think, for the wheel. So that's what's on it at the minute, and I'm thinking that'd be a good option. Mixed in with that, and I did put it down as a separate upgrade, is a suspension springs. And I don't know whether getting better suspension springs on it would make much of a difference. I don't know. Please, anybody out there who's been through this and changed wheels, maybe reduced wheel size, had different suspension springs fitted, has it made a difference? Has it been worth it? These two are probably quite expensive upgrades and changes, I would imagine. I'm probably talking into the thousands. So yeah, I'd like to know from anybody out there, if you've done that, has it been worth it? Is it worth it? Or is it really not going to make that much difference for the cost? And I'm just going to have to live with kind of how it is, which is not too bad, by the way. It's just a little thing that bugs me, and I think I could make it better. So yeah, they're the two things, the first two things on the list. Can I make the ride a little bit comfier, a bit more car-like, I suppose? Can it be a bit more car-like and a bit more comfier? So yeah, they're two to think about. Hobnobbing my tooth. Upgrade number 3. Headlights. I'm pretty sure that the van has got upgraded headlights, upgraded LED headlights from the standard headlights that you get, or that come in the Transporter T6.1. I'm sure they are. I had some issues with the last van that I had, where with the headlights, where they were really, really dim. They were just like candles, really poor. So Imperial Car put me some new lights in, and it made a big difference. These are better than the last one I had, but they're still not great. And I'm wondering whether they could do with some new LED bulbs, lamps, or the headlights themselves need changing. I'm not sure. I think that sounds a bit drastic. I think it's possibly some new bulbs, some new lamps. But yeah, is anybody else out there had these issues? It's a common problem, I think, or a common whinge with people with transporters. Yeah, I read it quite a lot on forums and stuff. So yeah, that's another thing, and maybe that is something I just need to talk to Imperial Cars about. What type of headlamps are in this, and can the actual lamps be upgraded to brighter LED type one? So that could be quite an easy, cheap upgrade and fix, I think. Hopefully, anyway. Okay, upgrade number 4, a remap. So this van, this T6.1, is the 110 brake horsepower version engine. And although none of us, certainly me, wants to thrash around like a boy racer in the campervan, obviously not for that, well, you're kind of driving around on motorways and dual carriageways and stuff, bit of an incline, and the van really struggles. It really struggles up the hills, and you're just kind of craving for that a little bit more power. So I think it'd be nice to increase the power on it if I can. Now I have inquired about this with a couple of local guys that have been recommended, and both have said this version, this particular year and version, currently is not available for a remap. They seemed a little bit unsure, so I'm going to get a third opinion on it. But yeah, it'd be nice if I could do that. Apparently, you can get it boosted to kind of 140, 150 even brake horsepower, which obviously gives you more power, but also helps with the economy as well. Apparently, I'm getting on this anywhere between 28 and 33 miles per gallon, which is probably all right for a big van. It's a long wheelbase, obviously they're heavy with all the camper gear in the back. So, but I've heard a lot better than that. So maybe a remap and more power would help with that. So that's something to think about. Again, anybody out there who's been through this, tried it, seen an improvement or not, and it's not been worth it, please let me know and leave me a comment. Okay, we're down to the last upgrade idea, and this one's a little bit different. This one was triggered by another channel that I follow. I've been following him for quite a while. He's a great guy. Love watching his stuff. Really enthusiastic, and he's a funny guy. Called the Urban Motorhome. Can't remember the guy's name. Apologies, but he's really good. Look him up. And he did a vlog on all the gadgets he's got in his motorhome, and he's got a proper motorhome, not a camper van. He's got a big motorhome that he lives in, and guys, it's a proper techie van. He's got all sorts, smart plugs, switchers, you name it, he's got it. It's a fantastic setup in his van with Wi-Fi and all sorts. One thing he touched on is something that's bugged me a little bit. is the solar that the van generates. So I've got a 300 watt solar panel on the top of my van, which hopefully is charging my battery at the minute. And it frustrates me that because I'm only out in the van generally once a week, using it as a camper van, and I need the power for the microwave and the hob and fridge, everything else. It frustrates me that most of the time the battery's sat at 100% on the drive, especially hopefully when the sun's out. And the panel, even though it will be generating power, I'm not doing anything with it. It's kind of wasted power, and I hate the thought of that. So I've thought about, is there any other way I could use that power? Could I kind of charge something while it doesn't need to be charging the battery in the van? So could I, for instance, have one of the power units that you see people have in their camper vans? Could I have a kind of portable power unit, power pack, that I have in the van, plugs in somewhere, and so when the battery in the van is 100% and full and not needing the solar switches to charge from this socket. I'm sure that can't be beyond the wit of man to do. So that's something I'm going to talk to the Imperial car guys about, because I'm sure that's something I should be able to do. Yeah, I need to understand fully how the solar controller and the electrics work and the actual circuit. I couldn't do it myself because I don't fully understand that. So I'll talk to the guys and see if that's something I could do. But yeah, if I could just get a socket that somehow the solar energy is diverted to when the battery's full, I think that'd be really good. And I'd be using it then, and I could even charge that power pack, even not for use in the van. I could just use it in the house for charging gadgets, cameras, and GoPros and phones and microphones and everything. So I think that'd be really useful. So yeah, I'm going to talk to the guys about that one. So that is my last upgrade idea. Again, give me any thoughts if anybody's done that, if anybody's had a play around to use the solar off the van for home use somehow, or something like that. Please let me know in the comments. Well, that's it for this week's video, everyone. I'm sorry it's been a short and sweet one, but I just couldn't get the time to have a night away or even a full day out. So I thought it was worth doing the short one just to talk about upgrades. I'm really looking for help and ideas for everybody out there. I don't know too many people with camper vans to talk this stuff through, so yeah, just having you guys to help with this is really, really good. So yeah, please let me know what you think, and we'll see in future videos what I've decided to do and what I've decided to go with. So yeah, I'll wrap it up there. I'll get myself home and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers, Em.